These women didn't just make headlines, they made history. Bold, talented, and unapologetically themselves, these lesbian stars shattered norms and inspired millions to live with pride. Here are 10 iconic women who prove that being true to yourself is the greatest role of all. Jodie Foster has always marched to her own beat. Intelligent, fiercely private, and endlessly talented. She entered the public eye as a child actor, delivered iconic performances by her 20s, and won 2 Academy Awards before age 30. For decades, she refused to let the public into her personal life, and in doing so, she became a symbol of quiet resistance. The world speculated about her sexuality for years, but Jodie chose her moment. During her 2013 Golden Globe speech, she addressed it not with a headline-grabbing declaration, but with grace, humor, and subtle power. Her words, "I already did my coming out 1,000 years ago, in those very quaint days when a fragile young girl would open up to trusted friends," reminded us that not every story is meant to be shouted. Jodie's brilliance lies in the balance she strikes between privacy and purpose, and her influence has helped shape a more thoughtful, nuanced conversation about queerness in Hollywood. Few musical acts wear their hearts on their sleeves the way Tegan and Sara do. These identical twin sisters from Calgary, Canada, burst onto the indie music scene in the late 1990s with a sound that was as unique as their bond. But what set them apart wasn't just their harmonies, it was their honesty. Out as lesbians since their teen years, Tegan and Sara wrote songs that spoke directly to the queer experience. Love, longing, confusion, discovery. Over time, they've become more than musicians. They're activists, educators, and cultural architects. They're Tegan and Sara Foundation advocates for health and economic justice for LGBTQ+ girls and women, amplifying marginalized voices. With every tour, album, and interview, they remind young queer people that visibility is powerful, and vulnerability is strength. They've proven you can make art, make a difference, and still stay true to your roots. Kristen Stewart's journey from teen idol to queer trailblazer is one of Hollywood's most fascinating evolutions. When she first shot to global fame as Bella Swan in the Twilight Saga, she was catapulted into a world of media scrutiny and impossible expectations. But Kristen didn't play by the rules. Over time, she became more open about her relationships with women, eventually identifying as queer and stating boldly, "I'm not hiding anymore." Her fashion choices, film roles, and interviews now reflect a woman unapologetically in control of her image and identity. Kristen has used her platform not just to live openly, but to elevate queer narratives on screen, portraying Princess Diana in Spencer, directing short films, and producing LGBTQ+ content. Her cool defiance, artistic vision, and openness have earned her the respect of queer fans worldwide. She's not just acting anymore, she's redefining what it means to be an icon. Affectionately dubbed Lesbian Jesus by her devoted fans, Hayley Kiyoko didn't just enter the pop scene. She kicked the door wide open for a new generation of queer visibility in music. With tracks like Girls Like Girls and Curious, she wasn't just singing about love, she was validating the experiences of queer women who had waited a lifetime to see themselves in a music video. Hayley grew up acting in shows like Wizards of Waverly Place, but it was through her music that she truly found her voice and gave one to others. In a world where female pop stars are often molded by marketing teams, Hayley insisted on truth, vulnerability, and representation. Her impact reaches beyond charts and streams. She's helped countless fans come out, feel seen, and fall in love with themselves. Hayley isn't just a pop star. She's a safe space in a loud world. Sarah Paulson is a masterclass in versatility. Whether she's embodying terrifying villains in American Horror Story, portraying complex characters in Ratched, or stepping into dramatic roles like Marcia Clark in The People v. O.J. Simpson, she transforms with fearless grace. But Sarah's power doesn't stop at the screen. In real life, her relationship with the legendary actress Holland Taylor, who is more than 30 years her senior, has become a symbol of love that transcends societal boxes. Despite the media scrutiny and whispers, Sarah has stood proudly and unapologetically in her truth. "I'm with a much older person," she once said, "and people find that totally fascinating and odd, and to me, it's the least interesting thing about us." Her relationship, talent, and candor have helped break down ageist and homophobic stereotypes. And in doing so, she's redefined what it means to live and love out loud in Hollywood. In a world of overproduced pop and fleeting fame, Brandi Carlile is the real deal. With a voice that soars and lyrics that cut to the core, she has become a beacon in American folk and rock. Songs like The Joke, The Story, and Right on Time aren't just songs. They're emotional journeys rooted in vulnerability and truth. As an openly lesbian woman married to her wife Catherine and raising 2 children, Brandi doesn't separate her art from her identity. Her family is central to her music, her activism, and her spirit. Whether she's performing at the Grammys, organizing the Girls Just Want a Weekend festival to spotlight women in music, or advocating for marginalized communities, Brandi leads with love and authenticity. She is living proof that LGBTQ+ artists don't have to fit a mold. They can shape their own stage. Ruby Rose broke through global consciousness like lightning, bold, edgy, and unapologetically herself. Hailing from Melbourne, Australia, Ruby first turned heads as a model and MTV VJ, before her breakout role as Stella in Orange is the New Black turned her into a global phenomenon. Ruby identifies as gender fluid and has often spoken about feeling neither exclusively male nor female, which resonated deeply with queer fans around the world, especially those grappling with non-binary or fluid identities. With her striking androgynous look, tattoos, and raw presence, Ruby became an instant queer fashion and culture icon. Off-screen, she's been vocal about mental health, anti-bullying, and LGBTQ+ rights. Though she's faced her share of personal and professional challenges, her refusal to conform has made her a lasting symbol of courage and individuality in both entertainment and life. Lena Waithe isn't just making history, she's rewriting it. In 2017, she became the first Black woman to win an Emmy for Outstanding Writing in a Comedy Series for her semi-autobiographical Thanksgiving episode of Master of None. That episode, which traced her characters coming out over decades, struck a deeply personal and universal chord. But Lena didn't stop at that milestone. She kept building. She created The Chi, 20s, and Boomerang, each centering Black characters with nuance and complexity, and often including queer storylines that have been sorely lacking in TV history. She's fiercely proud of her identity as a Black lesbian woman and uses her platform to elevate others in the community, especially queer people of color. Lena isn't content with taking a seat at the table, she's constructing a new one where everyone has a voice. Her work is not just storytelling, it's revolution in motion. Ellen DeGeneres wasn't just the first major female star to come out on national television, she was the earthquake that shook the foundations of Hollywood. In 1997, during the 4th season of her sitcom Ellen, she made history by announcing, "Yep, I'm gay," both on screen and in real life. That moment wasn't just brave, it was revolutionary. She faced near-instant backlash, lost advertising deals, and her show was ultimately canceled. But Ellen didn't vanish. She rebuilt herself from the ground up, eventually launching The Ellen DeGeneres Show, which would become one of the most beloved and successful talk shows in television history. For nearly 2 decades, Ellen made "Be kind to one another" a cultural mantra. Through her laughter, generosity, and fearless authenticity, she gave millions of people, especially LGBTQ+ youth, the permission to be themselves. Her impact can't be measured just in Emmys or accolades. She changed lives. Before coming out became a public relations strategy, Melissa Etheridge did it with nothing but raw honesty and courage. In 1993, she stepped up to a microphone at the Triangle Ball, Bill Clinton's inaugural LGBTQ+ celebration, and publicly claimed her truth. It was a bold move for a rock star in the early 90s, and it sent shockwaves through the industry. But Melissa's power has always been in her voice. not just how she sings, but what she stands for. Her music is drenched in emotion, defiance, and longing, songs that carved out space for anyone who ever felt different. Over the years, she's faced breast cancer, heartbreak, and the tragic loss of her son, but she has remained steadfast in her mission to use music, love, and truth to heal and connect. Today, she's not just a Grammy winner, she's a survivor, a storyteller, and a lesbian legend.